Welcome to the show, Keith.
Well, thank you.
Now, first off, what is behavioural optometry?
That's a mouthful, isn't it? It could take us a while to go through there. But basically, a conventional optometrist is interested in your eyesight. He wants to know that your eyes are normally formed, that they're healthy, and they can see the bottom line on the chart. A behavioural optometrist says, well, yes, you've got good eyesight, but you've got two eyes. Can you use them together? Can you use them efficiently? Can you see fast and accurately? And have you got the stamina to use your eyes over a long period of time?
Is that something relatively new? I mean, we've never really heard of it before.
I guess it's not new in that up to the last 100 years or so we've been looking at how people use their eyes. But I guess we're paying more and more attention because in society today we use our eyes much more up close, not in the distance, which is where we test basically for eyesight.
Because, I mean, kids can have 20/20 eyesight, but they can still have visual problems, you said. So can you explain the difference between the two?
Yes. The 20/20 refers to the bottom line on the chart, looking in the distance. Now, obviously, once you've got good distance vision, we want to know whether you can then look up close. Turn those two eyes in, coordinate, track, team, focus. If you're unable to change your focus from far to close and maintain it, you're going to have difficulty with close-up vision.
Is that the brain, or is that your actual eyes, or what is going on there to train those eyes to do that?
When we're born, the two eyes move independently. They learn to work together in team, so those skills are learned. So that learning is done in the brain. So the brain directs the two eyes to work together. Now those skills we learn, and obviously if you are not very skillful, we can develop those skills. You can become better, you can become expert. So a lot of sports people work on their visual skills to become better sportsmen. But your child learning to read has to learn a whole new set of movement patterns with their eyes. So those skills, some children learn fast, some learn slow, some haven't got those skills yet when they arrive at school.
And so you believe that that can actually lead to misdiagnosed behavioural issues?
Well, that's right. If you arrive at school, you're given some print to look at, you find that it's blurry, it gives you sore eyes, headaches. You've got two choices. You can try harder, and those kids are easy to pick up because they'll be rubbing their eyes, they'll be telling you that they've got sore eyes, headaches. The other group of children, they'll go, this hurts, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to avoid it. So these are the kids that avoid reading. And of course a child who's sitting in class while everyone else is reading and is avoiding reading gets up to mischief. And those children can be mislabeled as having an attention problem or another problem, whereas in fact all they're doing is just avoiding using their eyesight.
That's very interesting. I've definitely learnt something. Thank you very much, Keith.
You're welcome.
Welcome to the show, Keith. So how common are visual problems? Is it more common in children?
I guess visual problems are across the whole spectrum of ages, but children we often see visual problems because they haven't learnt to use their eyes skillfully yet. So when you're learning to read, there's a number of skills that you need: pointing your eyes, coordinating, tracking, focusing. And as you learn those, you become more skillful at reading. Adults can have issues with vision and problems. Those that learn new sports will also have to learn new eye skills, and a behavioural optometrist can test those skills and help you to develop better, more useful skills. But a lot of the studies do show that the children arriving at school, up to 1 in 5 children, can be not ready with their skills to learn to read. So it's quite common amongst the primary school children.
How simple is testing? I mean, can we test for visual problems?
I think it's relatively easy for parents or teachers to have a quick look at how the child is using their eyes. Simple things like being able to track, follow left and right and around, follow in close, back out again, and just asking the child when they're having difficulty, what are you seeing? Is the print clear? Is it fuzzy and funny? Does it make your eyes hurt? Those sorts of questions. The child will often answer yes, and they don't know any different, so they won't tell you without being asked.
Can we train them, our eyes then? We definitely can train them to make them better?
Yes. When we're born, the two eyes do operate independently. They learn to work together. So those skills of using your two eyes are learned. With training, we can learn to make them more efficient, better stamina, use them efficiently. The other area is obviously in becoming better than average. Sports people can train their visual system to be much better at using their eyes.
So is that simple hand-ball-eye coordination that we talk about?
Absolutely. Yes, we're not looking at the eye itself in these situations, we're looking at the skill of actually using the eye.
Now, reading, writing, working on computers, a lot of us do that as adults. Can we start to develop visual problems as an adult?
Absolutely. We find that the eyes, if they're not skillful, if they're having difficulty with focusing, tracking and pointing eyes, if we start using them in a much more demanding manner, we're going to start getting symptoms. We're going to get sore eyes, we're going to get headaches, the print can blur, we lose attention, lose concentration, want to go to sleep. Those sorts of things are quite common. So you get many people who change jobs into a more stressful, more near-demanding occupation. They can suddenly start having symptoms.
And what should they do? Should they be taking those micro breaks and looking up? Is that one of the key things to do?
Absolutely. Visual hygiene, being in the correct distance, taking breaks, frequent breaks, looking up, looking in the distance. Our visual system is designed for moving, looking far and close, not being locked down up close. 3,000 years ago, if you sat down and got engrossed in a book, you probably got eaten. So those that the visual system is designed to be moving around far close, and when you're using it in a different manner, it can often start to complain.
Very interesting. I've definitely learnt something. Thank you very much, Keith.
You're welcome.